Well, it's been a while since I did my first video um, podcast or whatever you want to call these things. It was 2 years ago, and life has changed quite a bit. I have two more grandchildren, and they are an absolute joy. They are twins. Alice and Eden, who will be 2 in May, and Benjamin, of course, their big brother, was 4 at Christmas time. So quite a lot has happened, and although I intended to do these videos on a regular basis, um, that hasn't quite happened. But I hope I'm going to be a little bit more regular with this diary. I did set off originally by saying that I wanted to record some aspects of my life so that my grandchildren can listen to me when they're older and see, where their nana has been and how she was brought up and all that sort of thing, and their grandpa Roger too. But I think I'm also going to keep a visual diary this way of how my life is going, and what's happening in my life. I would like as well to have some conversations with friends that I have, and I've signalled that intention to them. So here we go with another go at having some regular videos on this site. Today I have been at a circuit leadership team meeting. This is a leadership team that exercises decision making, brings churches together, 14 churches in our circuit, and sometimes we discuss things which are quite difficult and quite confidential. And at the moment, we're at the beginning of thinking about doing a strategic review in the circuit of 14 churches to see how we can help churches develop where they can, and to look at our resources. Like any other church, the Methodist Church doesn't have unlimited resources, and we certainly don't have those on our circuit. So it's going to require looking at where the green shoots are. For some churches, unfortunately, it might involve loving them towards closure. But of course, under the Methodist system, the only people that can decide whether a church should move towards closure are the people themselves in that particular church, in that particular church's church council. So things are not as always straightforward as we think. Yes, so today we discussed various building issues, some personnel issues, and I will be becoming more directly involved in a strategic review of the circuit. I'm also beginning to prepare for Hands of Change pop-up cafe on Saturday. Cheddar Valley Hands of Change was set up 10 years ago around a kitchen table, like a lot of projects are. And there were 3 of us at the time. Now it's essentially run by Jenny Fox and myself, and I hope to have a conversation with Jenny at some point through this media, and reflecting on the stories that we have to tell from Hands of Change. When I first mentioned this to people, they said, that's not a very churchy title, which is true. And it was deliberate, because we were looking at seeking to meet the needs of families with children or without children who even 10 years ago were being challenged by the cost of living crisis and the changing benefits system. So we set off beginning with a coffee morning, and quickly it developed into a pop-up cafe that we have on Saturday. So it's a typical Saturday where we will be providing a free lunch, some hot food cooked by the wonderful Stuart, who I might talk about at another time, and also some cold food prepared by a variety of people. Cakes are always very popular. Hot and cold drinks. We offer some vegetables and some fruit as well. And as well as offering a free lunch to families, we have a craft table going on. We have a wonderful lady called Pam who has a lovely way with the children and the adults who come to the craft table. And we try as far as possible to link the craft table into the church year or the year outside the church. And on Saturday, they will be making cards for Mothering Sunday or Mother's Day, depends what you call it, along with other activities. We also have a free to you table where we have clothes for adults as well as children. It's a good thing to recycle our clothes, and sometimes the difficulty is that we get rather too many and we have to sort through them and what is the best, and they will go out and people can help themselves to that. And for those families who are in particular need, we prepare goodie bags. We call them goodie bags. What they have are some essentials and often some treats that families can take away with them. Now this Saturday we have the addition now of a soft play area at the church that has been installed, which people are very excited about. So we'll see how that goes down on Saturday. So largely this week and tomorrow in particular, it will be preparing the church hall for Hands of Change, and also to buy some of the food. Jenny's away this weekend, but she is going down to the church today before she goes away with some items for the day and for the goodie bags. So I'm quite busy in that respect, probably a little bit too busy at times, but it is an exciting project, and it's a real privilege with Hands of Change to help some people, and I believe that is an essential part of the gospel that we preach in word and in deed. The numbers of families fluctuate depending on the time of year. I suspect we will be quite busy on Saturday. Maybe we'll have 12 to 14 families there. We prepare 12 goodie bags with enough stuff to give out slightly more than that. So we can judge the families that are coming in. And we do find that the families really appreciate what we do. It's frequently said that they feel safe when they come into our premises, and that is an interest and something that I really like to see followed through, and that is that as churches, as a church, whatever event it is, we provide a safe place for everyone. And I may just say more about that on another video that I do in the future. So apart from that, I'm normally preaching on a Sunday, but I've decided to take 3 months away from local preaching. And I think other preachers will understand this, that we can go on and on in this vein and preach in several different places. You know, the discipline and the call of a local preacher is to preach to all the churches in the circuit. So I can frequently go to a church that I may never have been to before or haven't been to for some time. So it's not like preaching to your own congregation, which I have to admit I find easier to do when I know the people in front of me. But I have decided that at the moment I just need a little bit of time for myself. I need to be able to read. I'm very much like my father. I'm quite a bookish person. And I just need time to read for myself rather than for a sermon or for something else that's going on at church. So I hope I have time to do that side of my life and to appreciate that part of research that I love to do on various topics. So it's a bit strange to take 3 months out from preaching, but I think sometimes we have to look after ourselves. I've also made a decision at this moment to just take a step back from my home church in particular. I continue as a circuit steward, and I again will talk about that at some time. But in terms of my local church, I can be a go-to person, and that's part of my problem. So that's where we are today, and I'll continue, hopefully, with this series a little bit more regularly than I have.